Welcome to the 11 Days of Global Unity Summit and celebrating the 20th anniversary of 11 Days of Global Unity. My name is Jana Larsen, and I am the Human Resources Administrator and Deputy Director of We the World. Today, I am pleased to introduce a very informative presentation with a woman who is a leader in conversations about land rights and who has them. For the full 11 days schedule, you can register for free by going to 11daysofglobalunity.org and note that 11 is a numeral. So that is 11daysofglobalunity.org. At the website, you can see replays of the recordings as well, and you can also make a contribution to support We the World by going to we.net. And we thank you. Let's begin. Lilian Calvache is a professional committed to making a positive impact on communities. Originally from Colombia, she has a master's degree in international trade and over a decade of experience in volunteering and advocating for marginalized voices. Lily has founded a business focused on IT fundamentals, professional development, and digital well being. She also serves as the Vice President of the internationalunion.org, a Colombian NGO. Currently, she is working on a book about the global diaspora and cultural intelligence, aiming to empower global communities while achieving financial independence. Welcome, Lily. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. This is a very nice opportunity for me to thank everybody on earth for working on these important subjects. And it's just an honor for me to be here with you. Thanks. And the International Union is an NGO that is here in the United States, and I am volunteering for it. I appreciate this invitation. Thank you.
Very good. Well, we're ready for your presentation if you're ready to give it.
Okay, thank you so much. Today, I want to talk about something that is very important for all of us. This is a subject that is crucial nowadays. I have got this point because in Colombia, South America, we're going to have this event that is called COP16, COP. So it's like 190 countries that get together through the United Nations programs to talk about anything concerning all these subjects that we're going to talk about today. So I picked the subject, reclaiming land sovereignty, the power of stewardship, self-determination, and economic justice. So as you all know, Colombia, which is my country of origin, has some characteristics that are very nice, very good. And everybody knows us for these wonderful products. But I'm going to talk about the essence of land sovereignty. So at its heart, this subject is about the right of communities and nations to govern their own land, free from external control. That's what we want. It is about like ensuring that the people who live on and work the land have the power to make decisions that reflect their needs, values, and aspirations. This is not merely a legal or political issue. It's just more like a moral one, we would say. So it's about stewardship and the profound connection between people and the earth. But there is another part right here that I want to make an emphasis in, and is the dimension of land sovereignty, which is economic justice. And this is where Henry George's philosophy becomes crucial. So I would like to bring this part because Henry George's philosophy is just like the solution for poverty around the world. And maybe many people do not know about it, but Henry George, as an American political economist of the 19th century, is best known for his advocacy for single tax on land value. His central argument was that land and natural resources should be considered common property with their value generated by the community, not by individual ownership. See, so we are studying Henry George because he believed that the economic rent of land, meaning the unearned income derived from land ownership, should be taxed for the public good rather than allowing individuals to profit from it. So George's philosophy is particularly relevant to our discussion of land sovereignty because he argued that while individuals have a right to own what they produce, no one has the inherent right to the land itself, so which is a shared resource. In a world where land is increasingly concentrated in the hands of the few, leading to vast inequalities. We think that Henry George ideas are just a path to follow for economic justice. And we want to talk about how connecting this land sovereignty and George's vision can be the solution we all want on Earth. So when we talk about land sovereignty in the context of economic justice, we're essentially talking about the equitable distribution of the Earth's resources. So if we apply George's philosophy to today's challenges, we would advocate for policies that ensure land is used for the benefit of all, not just for the profit of a few. So this means that supporting land reforms that return control to local communities, taxing land value to fund public goods, and recognizing the inherent value of land as belonging to the community as a whole. So if we see the historical context and the global challenges that we are going through right now, so we will say the accumulation of land by a privileged few has led to widespread inequity and social unrest. From colonial land grabs to modern day generations, and especially now we face gentrification. The displacement of people from the lands is often driven by economic forces that prioritize profit over people. Today, global challenges like climate change, deforestation, and unsustainable agriculture are exacerbated by this inequitable distribution of land and resources. And that is why I brought the subject of COP16, which is happening now in Colombia in October 2024. So in this context, land sovereignty becomes not just a matter of local governance, but a critical element of economic justice. By returning land control to the people who live on it and depend on it, we can begin to address the root causes of poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. So we have some successful cases that we have studied there, and especially in the United States. We have, for example, the case in Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg. So let me tell you a little bit about that. It's just like in 1982, Harrisburg instituted a tax rate on land that was 4 times the rate of buildings. And by 1994, the mayor, Stephen Reed, he wrote the following in a letter to the people in Pennsylvania. more specifically to these activists. And he said that with over 90% of the property owners in the city of Harrisburg, the two-tier tax rate systems actually saves money over what would otherwise be a single tax system that is currently in use near all municipalities in Pennsylvania. So we therefore contribute to regard the single tax policy here. And I think it's just a good example that we can review later on. So if we go to these other countries, we have various examples where the principles of land sovereignty and economic justice intersects with all these places. For example, if we go to Denmark, so we have that the land value tax has been implemented in line with George's ideas, leading to more equitable development. And in Latin America, indigenous movements have successfully reclaimed their lands, not just as a matter of culture, but it just means for them to achieve economic independence and sustainability. So as we continue this discussion, I would like to invite you to reflect on how we can integrate the principles of Henry George into our advocacy for land sovereignty, how we can ensure that the land is used in a way that benefits all members of society rather than just select few. So how can we create this economic system that recognize the value of land as a shared resource and redistribute its benefits in a more equitable manner? That would be like an invitation for us to do. And that is like what all these countries, especially Latin American countries with these wonderful natural resources can benefit from if they could have more power with their land. Like if we could just do the sovereignty more into our place now. So, but I would like to know if we have some more time to discuss a little bit about the Pennsylvania land taxes equipments as an example, or even you want me to continue there, because there is also something that you can do, and is to all these people that are watching this program right now, I invite you to go to the website of the International Union and see how all these proposals in many places in the world are happening. So in this NGO, we are working with people from all over the place, like 15 countries, I guess. Yeah, it's for about 15 to 20 countries right now. And in all of them, we're trying to bring Henry George's philosophy to see how we can contribute to this.
Yes, if you have time, I think it'd be really good to hear more about it. You know, when we met, I didn't know anything at all about it. So, not that I'm representative of everybody in the U.S. You understand, but just more information it's very helpful, and just bringing as you're working towards more attention to what is happening. To the you know, the indigenous people, and preserving their cultures, and having full access to their rights.
Exactly. Well, yeah, well, then we have two things to talk about right there. So as we have
Yes,
time, then let me share with you.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah, let's start by the example that we have here in the United States that I was doing some research with Alana Hartstock. She has a book that is very nice on this subject, and I think she's the expert in this part. And it's named "The Earth Belongs to Everyone." I recommend you that. And you will understand, and everybody can understand better that subject. But there is one place that is called Harrisburg. Do you know about it?
Well, I think I have long ago relatives that settled in Harrisburg, but I haven't been back there. So, and you mentioned the story about that. So,
Yeah. So
enlighten us.
yeah. So they say that they have the number of the vacant structures in Harrisburg. They declined from 2,200 in 1982 to like under 500 by 2001. So that is because they used the philosophy of Henry George to do that. But if we I started to do this research because I was like, wow, those numbers are very interesting. So I said, that place, they have a good resource. So let me see if I can apply it to my country. But that's another story in my country. So I want to go there because um, this,
And speaking of that, so you have a dual citizenship then?
yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do. So I compare here and there, and I've been doing some research here also, and the Cherokees here are different from the Dakotas. So
Yes.
yeah, and I've been doing some research about it, and it's very interesting because uh, there is common factor that is worldwide, and it doesn't matter the country. It's just the
Yeah.
pattern, and that pattern is what is bringing this subject now. But I'm gonna explain a little bit more about it in the
Sure.
next. So let's talk about that. Let's say sovereignty gave us this delicious food, right? That's
Yeah,
what.
I was just going to say, I think I'm really hungry.
Yeah, that's what.
That looks good.
Yeah, but behind that, you don't know what is behind that. So
No.
it's a lot of work, and it's mostly indigenous people, peasants, and rural communities. And then we go a little bit towards the bad part of it. But I just want to know that, I mean, I want to share with you that this sometimes we just take it for granted, and we don't know what is behind what we eat and where it comes from,
Yes.
and the efforts and the policies and the justice and economics and politics and human rights, everything in that dish. And we just eat it, and we just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Are
So
those banana banana?
now
No.
these are called arepas. And yeah, these are also um,
Is that a banana leaf though
yeah, they
underneath
have
it?
a plantain to keep
Oh
this
yeah, plantains. Yes. Yes.
plantain. So this part also brings like all these challenges that we have right now with corn. They are made of corn. So this is 100% organic. But now we switch to the subject that we have to eat some modified, genetically modified food, and that's causing us sickness, illnesses, and goes to the other system, which is health system, and all these. Let's say that it's not something that doesn't have solution, but we have to pay attention to it because I have done some research, and people say that the United States is the one of the sickest countries on earth. Like maybe
Isn't that amazing with all the wealth and then there is so much sickness.
yeah,
It's
and
mind-boggling.
but this is something that is has a solution if we all want to take a moment to think about the land sovereignty. It's not just about governance, it's about justice. So
Mhm.
it is about ensuring that the land, which belongs to all of us, is used to benefit everyone, not just the. Well, I don't want to say some words because they will sanction your program. It starts with M and ends with O. So this person has this,
Oh,
yeah. So this person has this uh, new company that starts with B, and ends with R. So modifying everything. So we all need to pay attention to what is in our hands that we can do, so we can live, let's say, a better world for all of us, our future generations. So by embracing these ideas of Henry George, I think we can move towards a future where land sovereignty goes hand in hand with economic justice, creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
Well, that's the whole idea behind We the World, with our 11 themes of global unity, which is why we're celebrating this event right now. Um, and each of the themes, of course, can stand on their own as important concepts in and of itself, but they're also very overlapping. And so it's difficult to talk about one thing without also mentioning other themes and how they're related. Um, I was just you've done research, as you said, and you're working on your book. How's that going?
Ah, that's where I'm going right now.
Oh, okay, good, good.
Really in my mind. Thank you. So, as I was seeing this subject that is worldwide, I said, okay, let me focus there where I am from. So I am in this part of the country. I mean, this part of the world. We have two oceans, beautiful oceans. Maybe in South America, the only country that has two oceans. Beautiful resources, beautiful things. But guess what? The poorest people are by the edges of these oceans, and you just cannot understand why. So I continued doing my research, and I was like, let me see other countries. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to this other country, and I was doing this research, and it's the same pattern. So I was like, okay, let me write a book about global diaspora, and let me see what's going on there. So I was like, okay, so if we start doing these comparisons, people behave certain way here and there. So I started to think about intercultural subjects. And then I was like, wow, these people are using these tools, and that's very, very smart. So I was like, okay, let's intercultural intelligence. Okay, let's narrow it down. So I was like, okay, so let me talk about how can we just do this global diaspora, cultivating your cultural and collective intelligence, because that's the sovereignty. Indigenous people, they get together, work in community, make some agreements, and see what is what. But so I said, okay, let me find out what is it more specifically in my country, in Colombia. So I was like, okay, let's talk about the 1970s briefly. So we had that 70% of the indigenous population were there. We had, like, back in the time, many indigenous were like more free, let's say, versus now. Although we have had like 14 presidents from my region, not specifically, they have not worked on these agrarian reforms as they should. It's like some of these corrupted things have happened there, and we saw that there was land dispossession. That was the main thing, and lack of infrastructure. So there is one of the main things that Henry George is talking about. So we're talking now about injustice. So this part of the injustice and lack of investment in rural areas is something that brought this indigenous resistance. So in that time, we're going to talk about one of the groups. They, for example, were disposed from their lands, and something happened, and these narco traffickers came with these ideas of sending these things to the United States. There are some words that I'm not pronouncing because your program may be sanctioned, so I don't want you to have that. So, but you get the idea, right?
Uh-huh.
So, imagine this case. 1 kilogram of that was, back in my country, was $1,500. And when it was here, the people in the United States were selling it for 50,000, 1 kilogram. in the United States. So, well, that puts our country into this distress. So then we move to the 70s and 80s, and we see that violence has increased. We have that the rural areas are being exploited for the resources. We have now guerrilla conflict in it intensifies, and imagine Colombians killing Colombians is so sad. And then we have the state is ineffective. The previous ex-presidents were not doing good. Now, after 2022, the presidency is doing a better job. So we will talk about it a little bit later if we have time. But we have, thank God, a better situation right now after 2022. So this rate of narco trafficking and coca cultivation, for example, was devastating the country. The guerrilla movements in the south of Colombia, it's just like terrible right now. Although that was in 1980, still some of those things had to deal with the state back in the before 2022. Our governors, presidents, ex-presidents, that was not fair. So we come out with Plan Colombia. So it was something that the United States backed. They were like inactive to combat the drug trafficking. Imagine if we received $20 billion in bilateral aid, where were they going? We don't know, because we had more paramilitary alliances with narco traffickers, the escalation of violence, and targeted killings. So what happened with that money is our question. We have to do some research. So all these things were in my mind when I was starting to write my book, and then I was just trying to create a solution for it. That is when I found Henry George's philosophy, but we'll talk about it a little later. So we come to another really bad administration. That's the name right there in the presentation. So we have further infiltration of these illegal armed groups and the state complicity. And we have something there because it was the implementation of a group called Convivir, and that was private security. That was really bad. Like, you could have heard the case that I'm going to talk about next, which is something that could be called a false positive scandal. And the military were killing civilians disguised as guerrillas for rewards. So imagine you are a military person, and they came now with the new presidency. They say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to kill your child. We disguised them. We took them out of your house. We took them to another city, another region. We just told them that we were going to give them employment. We killed them. I'm so sorry. Your child was not a guerrilla, was not a guerrillero. I'm so sorry." And their moms, you had to see their reaction after so many years. That was between 2002 and 2008, more or less. 6,402 innocent kids were killed by some of the army. I'm so sorry, it's so embarrassing, but I am
So
just asking for.
tragic. Oh gosh.
So that's where it goes.
And no reparations for them then, most
Mm,
likely.
Now, yeah, so that was that administration, but now he's that ex-president is in trouble right now. Well, I hope the United States is kind of like giving some help, financially help, but there is not an organization that is transparent where we can say, okay, where is this money going? And me as an American US citizen, I have to see what I'm doing with my taxes, because the money goes out of my taxes to kill people that is in my country or to kill people that is in this country. That's not fair. That's not what the taxes should be for. I mean, I'm not saying that they are. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying that there is not an organization that can say where is the money going, because and we know that corruption happens everywhere, but I'm just saying that the United States should be a little bit more cautious, or they would have more uh, a system that makes sure that the money that is sent first, it'll be for like the needs of this country first. And after you cover all the needs in this country, the poverty and everything, then they can send money to help other people. And I appreciate the help, but just sometimes uh, people receive some benefits, individual benefits, and that should not be like that. And that brings us to the peace agreement that we are talking about now. So it was signed between the government and the FARC in 2016. So that was something that gave some initial hopes for peace. People were falling in implementations of the agreement, but it was not like executed. It was stopped until the new presidency came, and is starting to see how those people can come back and get together with this agenda and make it happen, because many of the peace agreement signers are dead now and are dying. So we don't know what is going on there. So imagine all these presidents here. We're just showing you all these presidents, and none of them had done anything like very effective to end the violence, except for the new presidency right now. So that takes me to the next subject. I don't know if we have time. I would like to share with you what is COP16.
Actually, I don't think we do. We'll have to have you back, and I hope you will want to come back. But this has been really amazing, and hopefully the next time we have you back, you will be able to talk about what happened at the COP16 event, correct? And that's going to be in Colombia. And when will that be?
That's gonna be October 2020.
Okay.
October.
Yes, so next month.
Yeah,
And wow, there's
yeah,
there's
just like
a
this.
lot. I'm sorry. There's a lot to do here. How can people get a hold of you?
Well, they can write down an email to mciscusa@gmail.com.
That sounds pretty easy.
Yeah.
And so right now you are in the United States, and how often do you travel back to Colombia?
Very often. So,
Very often, yeah.
and also they
Um,
can find me here on my website.
oh, okay, yes.
It's Minority Consulting International. So I talk about some of the issues in my blog when I don't have clients, then I just have,
Oh, yes. That's also good to have
yeah,
that. We'll have to find you a place for that information to be uh, for people to get a hold of, and I'm sure we have that can find that place on our website.
yeah.
So
And if you
yeah.
allow me to do this invitation to other people, we have a project that is coming.
Yes.
Uh, it's like yourself. We have a global nexus of communication project. So we want to invite um, anybody that wants to talk about these subjects on October to November. We can do like a video call and we can just talk about it. This is going to be the first hybrid summit unveiling the power of action in communications, because we are doing something that is communicating thing, but also actioning.
Wonderful. Well, we have our global unity calendar, so we can put that on the calendar too, and then that will go out to lots and lots and lots of people.
Thank you. We want,
um,
yeah, we
I'm
want,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
oh, yeah, uh,
Okay.
yeah, I did interrupt you first.
Uh,
Yeah, we want to take people to Colombia, South America now. We have different situation, as I said before. So we can just have another topic and we will invite you there. So there is my
What?
email right here. Yes, yeah, that's my email. MCI South Korea. It's
I'm not seeing it on my end, but
oh,
should be there. Well, thank you in many different languages. Yes, very good. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for everything you are doing for the world. It's been very amazing presentation. Lots to learn and lots to do. And thank all of you for watching this and for being a part of the 20th anniversary of 11 Days of Global Unity. Please go to we.net to get involved and even make a contribution if you want. No gift is too small and is always appreciated. Now, let's go from a me society to a we society. Goodbye.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you.